Well, I promised you that we'd continue Brighton in some way and some form, and this is it. This one video. We are going to do the transfer window for the summer after we won the Premier League, and then we're going to sim a season, see how this team gets on in the Champions League. Enjoy. Just as a recap, obviously we won the Premier League and already have a lot of pre-arranged transfers. So Rico Lewis is coming in permanently after being here on loan and unable to play for the second half of the season because of that glitch that we had. We've also got Oscar Gluck, who's coming in from someone who is at Salzburg. He was very good against us in was it the Conference League we played in this season? Yeah, the Conference League. He was very good against us in that. João Neves, of course, was brilliant for Chelsea in the other save, and he's going to come in and replace Patrick Berg basically as the starting midfielder. Esteval, I signed because I saw him on a Wonder Kid list, and then he came up in a scouting report, so I was like, well, I'll have him then. And then I don't know who this guy is. Antonio Nusa is a Norwegian 20-year-old winger who can play on either wing. Oh, and we're trying to sign Julian Alvarez as well. I tell you what, these transfers are close to done already. If we get Alvarez, we literally don't need anything else. Let's hit continue a few times, but if we get Alvarez as well, this team is ready to go and win the Champions League. Oh, season review. Of course, we won the Premier League. Signing of the season was Abada. Can't really argue with that. Came in for 33 million, 24 goals, 14 assists, a 7.47. Apparently, there are one or two players playing in Scotland who can make the step up to the Premier League. And it's a big move going from a little club like Celtic to a big club like Brighton. But Abada managed to take it all in his stride. And that is a quite impressive first season. Tammy only came in this year as well, did he? I forget that some of these were here on loan and then signed permanently. That was a good summer of transfers, all of them. I mean, there wasn't a bad transfer amongst them. Right, let's just flash through all of this. Abada sells more shirts than anybody, and that was your team of the year. So Perry in goal. It's Stupinian, Schurz, Dunk, and Walker Peters. We probably need to upgrade Lewis Dunk this summer. He's like 60 years old. Andre and Berg in midfield. That's going to become Neves and Vermeeren for next season, so don't get too attached to those two. And then Fatty, Sunset ahead of Smith Rowe is interesting. Abada, and then Tammy ahead of Evan Ferguson is also pretty interesting. And there's all of your awards. All of the awards, all of the manager timeline. Tammy Abraham, record breaker. Like me, all the Kevins are record breakers, apparently. We all have them. Did he get a world record like I did, or is he an inferior Kevin? Which is why he's not allowed to use his real name in his day-to-day life. Right, the board want us to qualify for the Europa League and be competitive in the Champions League. I think we can win it. I think we're going to win the whole thing, but I won't tell the players that because that's madness. So we're going to qualify for the Europa League. They're satisfied. And we're going to be competitive in the Champions League. It's almost as if you just have to regurgitate what the board says to you and the players are happy. Right, I just want... Oh, there you go. Julian Alvarez is in as well. That's transfer window done, basically. Because that's another phenomenal signing for this team. He can play anywhere in the front four. I mean, we've got so many really, really good options in our attack now. And we are pretty much spent up. We'll get to the 1st of July and see if we need to sell anybody. We'll check that that we can register a Champions League squad. So we might have to move somebody on and shuffle some things around. I'd still quite like to upgrade Lewis Dunk because I don't know that a guy who turns 34 this season should be our starting centre-back. And if we get a decent offer from him from Al-Shabaab, I think we probably let him go, but that's a homegrown at-club player moving on, and we don't really have anyone to step in and become that. Because we're probably going to have to let Enciso go because he's in a proper grumpy, and he's the only other one who would become homegrown at club, I think. Obviously, we've got Evan Ferguson. That confused me for a second there. I was like, hang on, that was in the other save. Apparently, Uncle Derek was the chairman at Brighton, or a member of the board at Brighton all along. That's how I survived the first season. Uncle Derek wouldn't let me get fired. Thanks, Uncle Derek. You've served your purpose now. We've won the Premier League. I've repaid the faith you showed in me. Now let's go and win the Champions League. Why not? We've already won it once this evening. I want to win it. I want to win it some more. See, Sunset again is another one that if we can get big money for him, we probably let him go because the new boy who's coming in. I think those two is my two attacking midfielders with Neves and Alvarez able to cover there. Almada returns from his loan as well, so I think Sunset probably does move on. So here come the new boys. So Esteval, not really all that, is he? He can just go out on loan. Even though, as an 18-year-old, he will become homegrown at club, but he won't because we're going to loan him out because he's not going to play for us. Alvarez is going to be awesome. Just first reserve for all 4 attacking positions, basically, which is very handy. Like I say, he was great against us in the Conference League. And scored a ton of goals for Salzburg last year. And then Nusa, natural on either side. I like the fact these are 4-star current ability players coming in. This is great stuff. And then Neves to kick people. It's beautiful. Welcome them all along. And then we're going to work out who we need to sell. Right, Rico Lewis is finally in. Huzzah! Right, our loan players are back. Apart from Verbruggen, why is he not back yet? He's back later today, apparently. For goodness sake, get back! You're basically the one I'm waiting for. Right, dummy registration time. Everyone is present and correct. So, Champions League first, then we'll try it for the Premier League. So clear everybody. Goalkeepers are Perry, Verbruggen, Rushworth. Jason Steele is done. Get him gone. No, not hiring intermediary. Talk to his agent. He doesn't have one enough balls at the intermediary thing. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant work, Kevin. Right, defenders. That's a lot. That's a lot of defenders, Kevin. So left backs. Valley and Estupinian are the 2. Is there anyone else who's a left back who we should bin off? No, not really. Right backs. Walker Peters and Rico Lewis. Is there anyone else who's a right back that we should bin off? Not really. And then centre backs. Diamonde, Boselli, Schurz, Dunk. But Dunk we might want to get rid of, but he's homegrown at club, so that might save his spot. So Beraldo and Hato is going to become homegrown at club. So we probably need to get Hato in somehow. And Beraldo is also quite good. Oh, it's not ideal. Right, we're going to come back with Beraldo and Hato. Hato, I think, is someone we have to keep around. And he'll probably be happy not being registered for the Champions League. I don't think he'll mind. Right, defensive midfielders, we need 4. So Neves, Vermeeren, Andre. I think we're losing Berg here. I think we keep Archie Gray around. And maybe get rid of Pizarro as well. Yeah, I think we keep him in the squad. So I think we get rid of Berg. And we get rid of Pizarro. And Baleba. Right, so can we get rid of him? No one wants to make an offer. He literally just came and moaned to me. Can we hire an intermediate? No. Intermediaries just don't work once you get to this point of the game. Let's offer him out. It's probably going to upset him, but who cares? He won't be as upset by that as he will be about not being registered. No one wants him either. Right. Worldwide. That one works for me. So Pizarro can go on the transfer list as well. And then it gets really complicated. So attacking midfield. Him. I think we have to have Smith Rowe because he's homegrown in nation. Which means Sunset is probably done, but we'll hold fire just for a minute. And then on the left, Noosa and Fatty. On the right, Abada and Alvarez. And then up front, Ferguson and Tammy. And I think that's all we're allowed. I don't think we can fit anybody else in because we've only got 2 homegrown at club. So I think anyone else we tried to register isn't going to fit. Yeah. So everyone who's not registered is done. So that means Sunset can go. Yeah, 47 million for him would be jolly good, thank you. So Sunset we've already offered out. Berg we've offered out. João Pedro needs to be offered out. And then Pedro needs to be offered out. Intermediary. I don't know what I've done there by hitting confirm, but somebody said hit confirm, so I've tried that. Almada's already out on loan, so we don't need to worry about him. Beraldo, we're going to try and loan out. He's not going to become homegrown at club anyway. The difficulty is Hato, because I want him to become homegrown, but it's the gamble on whether or not he'll be happy just being here as a as an unregistered player in the Champions League, which I don't know the answer to. We're just getting rid of all of this. Like, we don't care about any of these. And Enciso's just been too much of a pain in the trousers all the way through this save. So he can just go for next to nothing and I don't care. We play Football Manager as a computer game. We don't do it based on how good somebody is in real life. Nobody wants him. So again, intermediary o'clock. Buonanotte is another one we just don't have room for in the squad. We've outgrown these kind of players. We're too good for them. And then I don't think we get money for any of the rest of these. I think we gamble and keep Hato around. And if it does cause morale issues because he wants to be registered, then we can always send him out on loan at that point. But I think we keep him around as the 24th squad member for now. He's young enough to not be registered, but he's not been here 2 years. That's the thing people always forget. They have to be 20 years or younger and have been at the club for 2 years, and he hasn't, and he signed him last year. And then let's just check that this same squad can go into the Premier League. I'm sure it can. And why have I not offered Leon Bailey out? Did I just miss him when I was going through offering players out? Let's get rid of Leon Bailey as well. So we can only sell Dunk if we can bring in White. Basically, so we need to make enough money from selling all these players to bring in Ben White. And if we can get him, we can then get rid of Dunk. Oh, there's some big offers for Sunset. That's lovely stuff. That's Ben White money right there. The Wolves are offering to pay Beraldo's full salary. That's ideal. Because at 21, he could come back ready for the first team next year. That's a lovely offer for Steele. Nobody wants Berg. I mean, I don't want to be stuck with him. But Buonanotte leaves. Adingra leaves. Enciso leaves. This is lovely stuff. This is transfer business right here. Get them all gone. Get the Ben White fund up and running. We've sold 3 players, still not close to clearing the FFP issues for Champions League yet. That's not the £25 million offer I was hoping for. That's annoying. Because when we looked at him 10 minutes ago, he was 60 million. Right, Sunset's going to Man City. That should allow us to now swoop for Ben White, hopefully. We've now got back above FFP. Look at all that money. We've still got players to leave. There's still Bailey and Berg on their way out. I think we can get Ben White for that kind of money, surely. Oh, interesting. Their price has gone up massively from when we looked before. Maybe we're not going to get him. We probably can't go and spend 180 million on him just to move Lewis Dunk on. He wouldn't be interested in joining us. We'd have to improve our standing in the Premier League. We won it last year. How could we won it? I mean, it's a huge amount of money, but we've got to get a homegrown at club player. Oh, blimey, Chelsea. Come on now. Let's not get silly about this. Something like that, maybe. Slip some of this onto the Never Never. So we're spending half of our budget on Caicedo, and now we just need to find a centre-back to replace Dunk. Probably not going to be any of those three. It didn't say Brighton paid 100 million for him originally, I don't think. No, 5 million. I don't quite know what that 100 million there is. But yeah, this is a significant upgrade on our central midfield, which was our big weakness last year. Last year, our central midfield was Berg and Vermeeren. We've just upgraded that to Caicedo and Neves, which seems like a big upgrade. Here we go. Caicedo is back, boys and girls. He was on loan to Chelsea for a couple of years, but now he's returned to the bigger club, the Premier League champions. What a time to be alive. That's a very, very good football team. Long-term, Rico Lewis replaces Walker Peters, so don't worry too much about that. Verbruggen replaces Perry, so don't worry too much about that. This is the guy we need to move on. We need a centre-back. Oh, hello. 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 See, what I'd quite like to do is get rid of Schurz and Baselli and bring in Timber and Tamori. Because then Timber covers being able to play both fullbacks the way Baselli does. And then we're just waiting for Hato to come through. I think Lewis Dunk deserves the chance to play in the Champions League for Brighton. Unless he asks to leave, I don't think we force him out. We're on an FFP deficit again. That's not ideal. I mean, it doesn't really matter to me because we're just going to sim the season. Right, we're accepting this. If we're getting Tamori, we're accepting this. Or we're going to try and get more for it and then ultimately accept it. Yeah, that would... I mean, we paid 25 million. We're more than doubling our money. And we're about to sign a better defender than him, so he's not even going to get in the team. Pedro's on his way out as well. Oh, don't tempt me. I really want him. I really, really want him. Don't look at me. I'm not proud of myself for what I'm about to do. Don't look at me. I mean, if they're not accepting that. Goodness me. Hey, there he is. That's a good piece of business for that price, I think. Oh, now Schurz doesn't want to leave. Well, that is less than ideal. Right, we'll just leave that for a minute. Let's look at the squad again. We kind of need him to go, I think, or it's got to be Dunk, and I don't really want to force Dunk out. He's only homegrown at club for the Premier League! I hate you all! That's caused an enormous problem. Oh, poor old Andre. We're going to have to get rid of him now. And we're still failing FFP. Wants to know why he's on the transfer list. Because apparently you can be homegrown for just the Premier League and not the Champions League as well. It's a lesson I've now learned. Yeah, you can go to Liverpool. That's fine. Gets you out of the way. You can go to any of these places. Did anyone offer anything for Andre? Did we actually offer Andre out? This is very harsh on Andre because he's been great. That's all the nonsense around Caicedo's fault. I wonder then, hold on, let's go and check him. Is he... So he's only homegrown at club for the Premier League, which is a worthless thing to be because Premier League registration, it doesn't even matter. There is no being homegrown at club for the Premier League. I mean, I suppose, again, we could bring him in if we can get him cheap. We could bring him in if he agrees to be an emergency backup. I don't really want to pay him that much as an emergency backup. If we can get him to agree to be a backup player, then we'll bring him back. And that gives us a 25-man Champions League squad then. Impact sub. Okay, he's agreeing to impact sub. I can work with impact sub. And he's another one who we make a profit on then because we sold him for 40 million. And then he never got in Spurs' team. It was such a weird transfer for Spurs to do. Right, Molumby is in. He's not close to good enough to play for us, but I guess that doesn't matter in his case. We get March as well. Schurz is off to Brentford. Have we got enough defenders in the squad? Oh, yeah, we got Hater, haven't we? Yeah, so we're good. March is back. Didn't expect to be signing him this summer. You know what? That's quite a good signing. And that is a 25-man Champions League squad that works. Boys and girls, that was a team effort in the end. But we've got there. And we know it works for the Premier League because we've already registered our Premier League squad. Let's just double check. There's lots of under-21s who don't need to be registered, but yeah, that works. That, boys and girls, is a job well done. So let's just see if we can get rid of Esteval, and then we can sim the season and see how this squad gets on. No, I mean, we don't... I mean, he's so cheap. We absolutely don't need him. But for 21 million, are you kidding? There's no one we can get rid of to fit him in. No, stop even looking at him. No! I mean, I could loan out Baselli. Where is he? Can't even find him. There he is. The reason I like him is because he's extra backup at fullback. Because, oh, I guess Solly March can do that now, can't he? Oh, what a signing Solly March turns out to be. I mean, we could potentially sell him to help with... If we can sell him for that and get Upamecano for half of it. I'm curious. Yeah, no one's interested. Right, let's offer him out for loan and see what happens. We might have to just holiday past the Spurs game to let these two transfers complete. I was just simming from here, but we're not quite done. Because Upamecano coming into this team is incredible. So we're going on holiday for 1 day. Use current match tactics. Reject all. Yeah. Just go on holiday for a day. Hopefully not cancel any of these transfers. There you go. We won the Community Shield. Boom. I'm good at Football Manager. Another trophy won. Who the hell's Teresa? Why are you facing media questions, Vincenzo Teresa? The hell's going on here? I don't know how that's slipped over to him. Right, all the big clubs want Baselli, so that works. Because then he doesn't get upset. And we get Upamecano. Where is Upamecano? No! Goodness sake, you idiots. I left you with one thing to do. And it's going to happen again because we're going to have to holiday another match. We might have to actually play this next match. If this transfer hasn't completed, by this first league game of the season, we're going to have to actually play it so it doesn't auto-cancel. Good Lord. How much money? I mean, I guess we're getting him for a cheap fee. There you go. Upamecano is in. Boselli is out. And he's a big signing, apparently. A big name signing. On the cheap as well. That's good. So our best 11 is that now. Which doesn't include Upamecano, apparently. Right, let's holiday the season and see what happens. Is there going to be an... Oh, my word, we're in the Champions League final. Right, we've got to get past Everton. We're playing the Champions League final, everybody. What a time to be alive. So, how did the rest of the season go? We finished 5th in the league, which should be enough to get us back into the Champions League with the coefficients hopefully improved. We'll see how that works out. Although, weirdly, it's got Arsenal in the Europa League, so... Oh, that's because Chelsea have won the Europa League, I guess, and have already taken a Champions League spot. So I guess if we win this match, we get in the Champions League. If Arsenal win, if we lose, Arsenal get in. So we might be robbing Arsenal of a Champions League spot here. We got to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. We, of course, won the Community Shield because we're great. Did Evan Ferguson get his 30 goals? No, he didn't. Was he injured? No, he wasn't. He just stopped scoring. That's unfortunate. He is the best player at the club, though, and is wanted by Manufka, amongst others. But more importantly, let's go win the Champions League with Brighton, shall we? What a way to end this would be. Right, here we go then. Let's win the Champions League, boys and girls. What are you going to do to stop me? Nothing is what you're going to do to stop me. See, I would never let a player get to the Champions League final in need of a rest like this, but we've just got to play him, haven't we? Estupinian is just recovering from an injury. Lewis Dunk is retiring. Oh, that's actually quite a nice way for it to end. I quite like that. This is Lewis Dunk's final game in a Brighton shirt. Oh, the romance of this. Is he going to be a staff member? I've never wanted a player to take over me as manager more than I want Lewis Dunk to take over as manager. Why is he playing ahead of Upamecano? Romance? Are we not allowed romance? Rico Lewis has exploded this season and he's up to 4 stars of current ability. He was 2 stars when he signed. Why is Smith Rowe in the team? Who would normally be out there? Why is Noosa not playing? I mean, I've not managed the team all year. I'm not going to argue too much. I assume this is what's got us to the table. So let's carry on, I suppose. Hato's not played at all, has he? I think Caicedo deserves to be on the bench ahead of Malumbi. He deserves a medal. So we'll get Caicedo up onto the bench. Here we go. Here comes a goal. Get it onto Evans' head. Come on, then. Tomori's on the bench. Upamecano's on the bench. Lewis Dunk has to start in his final game of his career in the Champions League final. It's the most romantic story in the history of football. I don't care. There's never been a more romantic tale than if Lewis Dunk plays the full 90 and lifts the Champions League as captain in his final game of professional football in his first season in the Champions League of his entire career. It would be perfection. That would be a movie. Oh my word. I mean, if he'd have scored an overhead kick in his final game of professional football in the Champions League final as captain, I think I'd have just uninstalled Football Manager because that's it. It's absolutely peaked there and there's just no point playing anymore. You're never getting another moment like it, are you? It's all set pieces. Evan Ferguson puts us 2-0 up. I was going to say they were just leaving. No, they are just leaving him on. He's injured and his energy's so depleted, his energy heart disappeared. But of course they're leaving him on. Where's Tammy? Tammy's coming on. And we'll get... I mean, I want to bring Noosa on, but at the same time... feel like it has to be Solly March, doesn't it? We're 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go. Boys and girls, you are about to see in his final contribution to professional football as a player, Lewis Dunk is about to lift the Champions League. This is his first season ever playing in the competition. He retires tomorrow. I know it was only a beta save, and I know we've simmed through the last season, but that is blooming perfect. I'll take that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, the only thing left to do in this save is to offer that man a coaching role. Because how could you not? Assistant manager. And then I'm leaving, and hopefully he takes over. We are going to do a 5 years in the future for this, boys and girls, as well. So keep an eye out for that. That will probably be on LOLLUJO 2 as well, just because the main channel is super duper busy at the moment. So I'll holiday it forward and we'll do a 5 years in the future just to see how these boys get on, hopefully with Lewis Dunk as manager. But we won the Champions League with Brighton. Big thumbs up. Lovely old stuff.